All right, welcome to Critical Weight Theory. Today I'm talking about first dates, second chances, and why the version of someone you met for 1 hour at a coffee shop is rarely the full picture. So, this episode started with a simple question from Quora. If a first date didn't go well, should you give a second one a chance? And the honest answer is yes, but with conditions. A first date can be awkward for reasons that have nothing to do with real long term potential. People show up nervous, nerves scramble timing, conversations stall, expectations get in the way. As one writer once put it, expectations are premeditated resentments. We walk in ready for magic and forget that both people are human. There's also the pressure of feeling calm in love. Most of us are not on the first try, so the version of you sitting across the table might not be the version someone normally gets, and the same goes for them. So, when is a second date worth it? When is it worth it? First, if you felt even a spark of curiosity, not necessarily fireworks, just the small tug that says, I want to know a little bit more. Curiosity is underrated. It is also honest. And it's usually a better sign than a perfect performance. Sometimes tension shows up because something is happening under the surface. Second, give it another shot if the awkward parts were tied to nerves and not character. Some people shine in ways that are quiet. Some people need a beat to relax before their real personality shows. Do not judge someone by the tight, nervous version of themselves that appears when the stakes feel a little bit too high. And third, a second date makes sense if you left thinking, I didn't see their full self yet. Many of us have this problem even with our own reflection. And some people, they might not fully recognize themselves in the mirror. Your brain compares two versions of you, the one you have carried for years and the literal reflection that's in front of you. They never match perfectly. We do the same thing with the people that we meet. We compare the version in front of us to the version we expect, the used image in our mind. The real person might not line up yet. And this connects to another idea, the belief that what you see in others is really a reflection of yourself. The truth is yes and no. It works in some situations, but not all. When you pick up a quality in someone else, your mind filters it through your experiences, your fears, and your habits. If you are sensitive to criticism, even light comments can land as judgment. And yes, the dictionary, you know, will have different opinions on what judgment actually entails. And that is another episode, I suppose. But we all see with a judging eye, and we are always being judged to one extent or another. The point is this: you never meet someone who's totally clean. You meet them through your filters, they meet you through theirs. A first date is two imperfect mirrors facing each other at close range. So, should you give a second date a chance? Only if there was curiosity. Only if the awkwardness felt human and not harmful to you. Only if you sensed depth that you did not fully reach. If none of that is there, the answer is simple. Next, you know, go to the next in line, I suppose, is what I'm trying to say. But you should consider giving somebody a second chance. And who knows, maybe if you haven't done that, maybe you've let the one get away or something like that. I'm not really a big believer in the one myself, but it's like the movie The Matrix. You want to believe. Well, maybe that's not the best example because that's a dystopian hellscape. But you want to believe that there's somebody out there for you. Maybe you found them and you're just listening to this episode for other reasons. But a lot of us, we haven't found that someone, and we know that the world of dating is pretty much like a minefield. I personally tend to avoid dating and all that kind of stuff because I don't have time for that nonsense. But I still wanted to offer up a little bit of advice here. And thanks for listening. Let me know if you have your own first date stories or questions, whether they're brilliant first dates, whether they were nightmares. Just give me a topic, I guess, related to this if you want. And I might include what you have to say in a future episode. All right. Have a fantastical day.